Hi and welcome to Design School by Wpalgoridm.com. In this tutorial, we'll discuss all the new features in Elementor version 3.14, both the free and pro versions and above. So starting with the UIUX improvements, in order to add a widget, you can simply click the widget and that will be added onto your interface. Let's do that again. I'll just click on this plus button, click on the image widget. Now you can still drag in widgets like you always did before. So you can click and drag it, or the easier way or the better way to do it is to simply click the widget that you want to add and it will automatically be added, and you can of course change all the contents of the widget. So that's the first major UI improvement. Also, you can click on the settings cog in the top bar, rename it, and that appears in the top bar in real time. This is a minor improvement, and I'll just simply click on publish, and you can click on the top bar to see all the various elements on your page like your header, footer and all those things. And then if you want to simply add a new page or create a new page, you can click on this and it's that easy creating a new page. Again, if you want to change the layout, click on the settings cog, change the page layout to Elementor full width. Voila, you have your working page in action. And again, you can click on settings cog. Let's rename it. Let's call it new 3.14, and just like that, the name is also reflected here. And now you can simply click on a theme part element to edit it instead of going to the title and clicking on it. So if I want to edit the page, I can simply go here, click on that, and that will take us to editing the page. If I want to edit the header, I can simply hover over it and just click on it. That will take us to the header interface where we can manipulate the header. The same thing applies. So whatever you see on the page, just click on it to edit it. That's a major UI improvement. The second improvement is when you click on site settings and go to global colors or global fonts, you don't have to click on this to preview the color or change the color. You can see all of the previews in action in here. So you can simply click them and change them. So whatever you click, that element will automatically be highlighted and the values are automatically popped up. And the same applies to global fonts. So let's say I want to change the primary global font, I can simply click that and that brings us the menu to change the font family. So we can pick something like that. It's that easy. You can change all the values just like that, and you can simply click on save changes. So that's another neat improvement. Now let's move on to the big ones. Now the carousel widget truly becomes a nested widget, just like the tabs widget earlier in Elementor 3.12. So when you search for carousel and just click and drag it, or you can simply click it to add it. Now you see empty boxes instead of the typical interface you'd earlier see. So you'd see some text and some images, but now you can add anything into these widgets. So it's really handy. And you can also change it to your liking. So I'll just click on the plus button, and within this I want to add the loop grid widget. I'll just click and drag it. Let's pick products from here. Let's choose a template. Now I've made tutorials on all these in previous videos. You can check out Elementor Basics playlist. Now this is not looking good, so we need to fix that. Now this is not looking good, so I'll actually copy and paste this 2 times into these boxes as well. So I'll just paste this in here. For the time being, I'll click on the second one. We'll change this template. So we'll change this from products to posts, and I'll change this to maybe, I don't know, let's search for the available templates, hit the space bar. Yeah, I think this would do. Now let's change all of the values to 100%. I want to change this one to 100% width as well. So I'll just click on width, click on the drop down, and let's give 100 each. Now once we change the inner containers width to 100% each, I'll click on the carousel widget itself. So just click on the pencil icon or just click it to highlight it, or you can use navigator to do that. You can just click on navigator and highlight carousel widget. And down here, there's something called slides on display. Change it to 1. And yeah, change this to 1 as well. So basically this whole thing is a widget, and of course it's a loop grid widget, but you can drag any other widgets into this. So when you want to edit the other slide, you can simply right click or go to that slide, delete this widget. Even in the customized format, you can add any other widget. So let's add, I don't know, maybe an image in here in the second slide of the carousel, and let's pick an image. I'll click on choose image and let's pick this one. I'll just click on select. So there you have it. So this is the second slide, first slide, and you can put any widget into the carousel and of course totally customize this per device. So depending on the device, again change this to 1 each on each of the devices, and that should pretty much help it. So yeah, you can have anything. You have total control over carousel widget. Let's move on to the next one, which is the improvement to loop grid widget. Again, you can simply click on publish. You can click on the top bar and click on add new page. We'll rename it later, but I'll click on the settings cog, whatever, right? And we'll change the page layout to Elementor full width to get that flexibility. And now let's drag in loop grid widget. I've already explained about loop grid. You can check out Elementor basics playlist for that. So basically you define a template that repeats itself in a grid. So you can choose posts, products, or any custom post types that you have on your website if you have created a new ones. And you can design or handpick the templates as usual. Again, I made a tutorial on how to do this. So this is the grid, and now when you select apply an alternate template, and let's say I just want this to appear at position number 2, you can simply make it a static element. So if you want to insert anything in a regular flow, you can create an alternate template and choose static element. And when you create multiple alternating templates, you can use one of them as this static element. I'll explain what I mean. So let's say we apply another design. Maybe we'll pick this one. Let's see how it, you can see we are applying it to the third element, and I'll uncheck apply once, so that will apply to every third element, right? You can see that design in here. But again, since we have chosen to put this as a static element, it will always be available at this position. Although I don't understand why this toggle was really needed when all you had to do was to simply select apply once and just choose a position. But yeah, if you want to insert an ad or maybe a code, you can select an alternate template and maybe use some HTML code in that just to put some ads. Again, you can change this static element to apply once or multiple times. So again, this will apply to multiple times, and that overrides the natural flow of the elements, as you can see here. So for every 2 elements, this static element is placed like so. And there are few more minor improvements to the tabs widget as well. So now you can choose breakpoint at which the tabs widget converts to accordion. So if you go to the mobile mode, tabs widget basically acts as an accordion, as you can see in here. You can choose the breakpoint if you want that to be available on the tablet as well. So on tablet also it behaves as an accordion, or if you just choose the mobile breakpoint, it will just be available as tabs widget on tablet. So you can have that flexibility. You can also enable horizontal scroll. So just by scrolling through, you can switch between the contents of the tab. I personally don't find that very intuitive, so I'll just disable that. And the final feature is the option to have dividers in the menu widget. So when I click on the header to edit it, now in the menu widget, when you go to the style tab and scroll down, there's a new option called divider. When you enable that, you can pick a divider between the menu elements, as you can see here. It can be dotted, dashed, and of course you can change the width and height of this to your liking. You can make it a solid line. So that's a neat addition to menu widget. That's all new in Elementor 3.14 and above. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.